Hey guys, how's it going? Deafest Warrior here, Henry Mims. Today we're going to be talking about how to change your life a little bit and just 3 simple steps. Not easy, obviously, but simple. But before we get to that, I just want to thank you for coming because the fact that you're here means that you're trying to change your life in some way. Now, I can promise you 100% that I do not have all the answers, and if I did, I'd be way different place than I am now. But I have lived enough life experiences and a lot of things that have worked for me. We're talking trauma, trying to get over things like, my dad died of cancer, traumas, addictions, all those types of things kind of played into my life up to date. If you haven't heard my story, check it out. But when things start happening to you in life, you start developing these how do you say it? These not bad habits. Yeah. So especially for addiction. Addiction's a bad habit, right? Because nobody gets mad at you for going to the gym, but they get mad at you for shooting up, right? Kind of both habits, different kind of a viewpoint there. But so you start developing all these things, and along the way, you also start developing these traumas and the way they affect you and the way they affect your decision making. And that decision making then affects how you react to things and how you go about your day. And it's just a vicious cycle more than anything else. So when you're trying to get down to it and break it down, I found 3 ways. They're very simple. Again, they're not easy, but they are simple. Okay. Number one, forgiveness. It's a lot easier said than done. I understand that. But forgiveness is something that a lot of people misunderstand, in which they think that, oh, if I forgive them, then that means that I'm okaying what they did. No, that's not what it means at all. And a lot of people have been led to believe that that is not what it means at all. Forgiveness means I am okay with letting it go. That it no longer serves me. It will no longer control me. It will no longer be a part of my life. That is what forgiveness is. But there are a lot of people that have done you wrong. I know it, you know it, we've all been there. But those people do not deserve to have a place in your life that controls how you live it. So the first thing we got to do is forgiveness, including yourself. I'm sure there's a lot of things you look back on your past and say, oh, well, I wish I hadn't done this, or if I had been smarter. Look, we're all growing up. I'm 44 years old. I'm still growing up. I'm still screwing up. I'm not going to look back at what I did when I was 30 and go, you know what? I'm going to beat myself up for it. It's why? Because I was 30. You don't know what you don't know. So be easy on yourself. Forgive yourself, forgive others, and move on to the next step. Little habits create big habits. What I mean by this is when you make intentional decisions to create good habits, to replace the habits that you have, then it helps you to kind of move along in your day. And I'll give you an example. One of the things, you know what, we're on our phones right now. So one of the things that I used to do was I used to wake up in the morning and I used to get on my phone. And then I used to kind of look through. I wake up really early so nobody's up. And I used to just kind of scroll through, just see what was going on, kind of entertain myself, see what was going on in the day, whatever. But I noticed that my day started off kind of, and I couldn't understand why. I was getting sleep a little bit. I mean, I've got a bad back and stuff, so sleep is hard to come by. But I would get a little bit of sleep. But on those days, I was just kind of, my day just did not set off the way I wanted it to. So what I started doing was, instead of getting up and looking at my phone, was I would wake up and I'd chill for about 5-10 minutes. I'd do nothing. Now, for someone like me whose head just keeps going, racing, it's a little bit hard to do. So what I decided to do was I found this worked for me. It may work for you. If it doesn't, then you can try something else. Like I said, I don't have all the answers, but what I found was easiest for me when my head won't stop racing is that, so let's say I have 10 different thoughts going on, which for those of you that don't know what that feels like, bless you. It's a little weird sometimes. 10 things going on in your head at once, and I would turn them into a story. So it became one idea working. And then I would start bringing that story to an end, almost like I was bringing the racing in my head into a black hole, into nothing. And then once I got into that nothing, I was able to sit and just nothing. And what that does is that helps me to start every morning with a clean slate. Now, I don't get to do that every morning. And there are some mornings when it just won't stop. You know, if you've been there, you know what I mean. It just won't stop. But I build enough daily habits, about 20 or 30 of them. And I know that sounds like a horrendously large amount, but it's really not. And I'll explain in just a minute. So, and then I go to the next step, and then I just do the next step, and then I just do the next step. I am a very YOLO kind of guy, but there are steps and habits that I try to build on every day to make sure that I am at least getting the most out of myself that I possibly can, that I can accomplish. Idle hands is the devil's playground, right? So as far as the building the habits, the little habits start little and then become big, and work on them. You know, it's like practicing. So the little habits, the reason why I say that is because, for example, if I know that I have 10 healthy habits that I built over the last 2 months, let's just say, and I do 8 out of 10 of them, I won the day. I did 8 out of 10 of them. A baseball player hits 3 out of 10, Hall of Famer. I'm hitting 8 out of 10. Now, I'm not talking about going back to the pipe. I'm not talking about those types of things. I'm talking about, well, I mean, that would be kind of a bad way to start the day. It would, to be honest with you. Please don't. Please stay away from the bottle if you can't handle it. And if you're having trouble with it, then please reach out to somebody. Maybe get some help and stay away from it. Okay? One of the other habits on that note that I built was when I first stopped drinking. It was hard for me to do because, hey, I'm a man. I can do what I want. I'm just having a good time, and I'm not a mean drunk, and I'm not a bad drunk. I'm a hey, YOLO, Frank the Tank, let's have a good time drunk, right? So, but what I had to do was I noticed that I had to stop. Back in the day, they would put the beer section, and then you would have milk and eggs. Do you know how long I went without having milk and eggs? A long time. Why? Because I noticed that when I would go to get the milk and eggs, I thought I could pass the beer section. I couldn't. So what would happen is I would pass it, I would go get what I needed, and then on the way back around, I'd find myself holding a 6-pack of Heineken. Why? I needed to stay away from it. So for a long time, I did not even go that far. Okay, I came to everywhere else that was in the front. So I ate a lot of meat and a lot of junk food, a lot of ramen noodles. Okay, so that was one of the habits that I built, and over time, now I can go anywhere in the store. I still do not go down the beer section. I can go down every now and then. I can, but I try not to. Okay, but I'm okay. I can still go out and do things. That was another thing. I stopped partying. I've slowly worked myself with get-togethers and stuff. Now I can be social without drinking. And for some reason in this society, it makes it harder and harder that if you want to be social, you have to do drugs or drink, one of the two. I'm here to tell you there is another life to it. There is another way, and I'm doing it. No drugs, no drinking. And I still go out and hang out with my friends. We go to restaurants. We go to all these places and have fun. We do. So the third thing, build a village. So you're forgiving people. You're coming to peace in your heart. And you're kind of forgiving yourself as well. You're finding more peace in your heart. You're allowing more room for peace to come in and to get rid of that toxicity. Then the second thing is building the little habits that become big habits. So now you've got peace. Now you're accomplishing. You see? So you've got peace. You're accomplishing. And things make sense in your spirit. You know what I mean? Third thing, it makes it a whole lot easier to find people to build your village with. See, in the beginning, you do still want to have a village because they help you get out of all the places that you're trying to get out of. And ideally, you would want people who have gotten out of there too. You know, if it's not me, it's somebody else. I might say 10 things that just don't click with you, but somebody else say the same 10 things. Exactly the same 10 things that I said, and for whatever reason it clicks, run with it. I don't care who you get it from, just get it from somebody. Build a better life for yourself and building your village. And again, starting with somebody who maybe has been where you've been and is where you want to be. You see, it makes it a whole lot easier to relate, to understand, and for them to understand where you're coming from too. You know, and a little bit of a compassionate heart, empathetic, you know. And then as you move on, you'll start to notice that you'll be able to get more people onto your table that can help you build your village. And by your village, that means your support system. What you like, you know, for example, so just to give you an idea, in a little small town, you have the plumber, the electrician, the grocery store owner, the gunsmith, or whatever, right? Well, you need those types of people in your life as well. for different areas of your life. If you need a plumber, it's because you need something done with the plumbing. If you need an electrician, there's something done with the electricity, right? So what parts of your life can these people contribute to? Have them sit at your table, and then from that table, you build a village with other tables. See what I mean? And what that I help you to do is help you to find the passions in life, help you to find direction in life, help you to find accountability in life. These are all very, very good things, and a lot of times we shy away from things like accountability or learning our lessons because then we think in this headset space that we're wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I eat crow on a daily basis. And it's okay, I promise you. Nobody's going to crucify you, I promise you. And if they do, after a while, you need to get rid of them because this journey is your journey. Just like this journey is my journey, your journey, it's everybody else's journey. Last thing that I wanted to point out is, in all this, and the people that you meet, one of the things that I had to come to terms with myself as far as frustrations and anger and things like that is, I had to come to terms with everybody I meet is kind of like another version of me I had yet to meet, or another version of myself that I am now dealing with, or something to that effect. So what it's caused to happen to me is how I approach and how I talk and how I meet people are way different now. Because I want to treat them how I would want me to treat me if I was meeting me for the first time. I know that sounds weird, it might be a little confusing, but every person I meet is just another version of me. And I want to be nice to them. I want them to feel loved. And just like I would want to feel loved, and I would want people to be kind to me, and my family, and my kids, and all these people that I have in my life. When that started happening, I started noticing my village started getting a little bit easier to build. Why? Because my table was my support. And they were able to look out for things that maybe I didn't see. And look for the best in me and look out for me. Just like I would look out for them. And in doing that, they helped me say, you see that person over there? No, that's it. And here's why. Boom, boom, boom. You know? And then I would kind of say, oh, okay, yeah, that's not where I am in life, and I can't be really doing, yeah, you know what, you're right. And then it helped me to build a village. And in that village, it helped me to, number one, not feel alone, but also, number two, feel like whenever I want to go and do things, to accomplish things, to be a part of things, to be social, whatever, I know and trust the crowd that I'm in now, which also helps alleviate the anxiety. See, I'm 95% deaf. If you remember, and again, my story, I'm 95% deaf, so I would always have to start off with one person and then build to two. Why? Because the conversations start happening and it's overwhelming. And it really is. So I'm building a village wherever I go. Now I usually know one or two people. It starts with that, then it moves, and then you have 2 or 3 people, 4 or 5, and then I can navigate through the crowds and it's not as overwhelming because I warmed myself up to it. But yeah, so hopefully today I helped you out in maybe 2 or 3 things. One, maybe, to help you out in starting your day off. For all that you've been through, you're better than that. I know you are. And things are going to be good. And I promise. And I know it's kind of like, oh, I feel like I'm in a dark place for some of you. Understand this. And one of the most brilliant things that was ever said to me was whenever I would feel I was in a dark place, and one of my friends said to me, brother, you're not in a dark place because you're getting buried. You're in a dark place because you're getting planted. That sat with me. That sat with me. So if you're in a dark place, you're not being buried. You're being planted. And what's coming next? Amazing. Well, I hope you guys have an awesome day. If you have any suggestions, if you would like me to talk about anything, drop it in the comments. Look forward to hearing from you guys and follow me on my journey, all right? God bless.